Here's a scary thought. You're losing customers without even realizing it. You work so hard to bring traffic to your site. You spend money on ads, you build your social content, you send emails. But what if your website is actually sending people away without buying? I think the biggest mistakes people are making on their website is they've got a weak offer, they've got an unclear returns policy, their navigation is difficult, and they're not talking about the benefits rather than the features and the transformation that the customer is going to get by buying the product. I think even with really good traffic, I think if you're not focused on your conversion rate, it's like pouring water into a sieve. I think if you've got a low conversion rate, it's going to be really difficult to scale because cost per acquisition is going to be so high. So I think the key is to focus on your conversion rate at the right time before you're scaling ads so that you're converting 4 in every 100 instead of 2 in every 100, which will double your business. What's the question? I think the hidden barriers to a good conversion rate generally is difficult navigation bar. People can't find the product. I think another thing is not having enough social proof. I think in the early days, I think one of the key focuses needs to be on getting reviews. And I think the other thing is a lot of people talk about the product and the business rather than talking about the customer. So I think the focus needs to be on what transformation is the customer going to get by buying the product rather than what are the features of this product. So instead of saying this water bottle is 1 liter and is made from stainless steel, you say this water bottle will keep your water cool for 24 hours and it fits perfectly in your gym bag. And you're transitioning the product to be on the customer, what benefit they're going to get rather than the features of the product. I think in the early days of Solace, I think the things that were hurting conversion rate were talking about the product being stainless steel and hypoallergenic rather than talking about it being tarnish-free, waterproof, and skin-safe. I think when we transitioned to talking about the benefits rather than the features, we saw a huge bump in conversion rate. I think the other thing was the product images. That is prime real estate on your website that you can really utilize to essentially tell a story. What does the product look like? How's it going to arrive? What's the transformation going to be when I wear this product? And adding things in like social proof and this product versus another competitor's product. I think people tend to flick through the images more than reading the description. So if you're not using that to tell a story and get the benefits across, I think you're missing out on a big trick. The reason that I talk about the transformation and the benefits over the features is that, I mean, you know, when you go on a website, if you are just listed with essentially a manual, you're going to have to visualize what that means for your life. Whereas if someone is putting in front of you, this is how it's going to change your life, you're far more likely to visualize yourself with that product. And then you get emotionally attached and want the product rather than having to think about, is this product the right thing for me? If it is literally right in front of you, this is the benefits that you're going to do. And then it's backed up by reviews and social proof. And you know it looks great and you believe that it's going to do what it says it's going to do, you're far more likely to hit add to cart and buy the product. Find someone who's never used your website before and ask them to find a specific product. And if they can't find it within 3 clicks, I think your navigation bar needs to be simpler, or you need better filters for them to be able to find the product. I think 2, change the way you talk and the language on your website to be about the customer. So wherever there's something that is about the business or about the product, see if you can flip that to make it about the customer. What was my point? And I think 3 is get your social proof and reviews in as many places as you can. Get them on your homepage, get them on your product page, get them in the product images, use them on landing pages. People are going to trust the reviews far more than they're going to trust a business telling someone that they're going to get the transformation. So using those to your advantage is the way to get better conversion rate. I think simplifying the navigation is key to keeping people's attention. I think everybody knows now that people's attention spans, there's so much to do. There's notifications pinging left, right, and center on your phone. So making it really efficient and simple to find the product is going to stop people bouncing straight off the website. And I think it's also key to being able to navigate around the website to find other products that maybe they didn't consider the buy-in, and then that is going to have an impact on your average order value. I think social proof is, again, one of the key things. If you're early in your business or you don't have many reviews, I would say putting most of your focus on this is going to have the biggest impact on your conversion rate. Social proof is essentially reviews. And I've already said that people are going to trust your customers far more than they're going to trust you. And I think the key thing for getting a review is leaving it an appropriate amount of time before you ask for it. If you ask for a review as soon as somebody's bought a product, obviously they haven't had a chance to try it. And I've seen that on websites and I just don't understand it. But again, if you then deliver a product and then ask for it the day after, well, they might not have had a chance to see the transformation. And also in that time, so delight them when you deliver the product. We used to put love hearts in all of our orders in Solace Jewelry, and it's amazing how many people would comment on that. And again, that's another part of psychology of the reciprocity. You're giving something for free, because asking them a review is essentially like asking them for a favor. So if I ask you a favor, you're far more likely to do that if I've already given you something for free or gone above and beyond for you. So giving them something free in the order, maybe add in a thank you note as well, so making it personal, or you could even do that in the review in an email flow, so you can automate it but make it sound personal. And again, give value, give them something else. So if it's a skincare product, deliver them the product, go above and beyond, give them a thank you note, maybe give them a little packet of love hearts like we did, and then in emails follow up with the best skincare routine, other ways that they can benefit their skin, how they can have happier, healthier skin. And then after they've had time to actually use the product and see the transformation, and they've done it in the right way because you've given them the exact steps and more value than they're expecting, then you ask for a review and they'll be delighted with the service that they've gotten and are more likely to leave a positive review. So the key to conversion rate as well is having a killer offer. So the reason for the offer isn't just a discount. Now you want to, again, this is all about adding value and adding trust. So one of the key things to a killer offer is setting it at the right value. Because if you're just giving a huge discount, your average order value is going to drop and your business isn't going to grow. And offers aren't all about discounts. So setting a threshold for where the offer kicks in at, giving them something that is ridiculous value. You can do this by having high margin products. So find something that's got a lot of margin in it, that's got high perceived value, and give that away for free. Because quite often it'll cost you less than giving them 10% or 15% off. But the customer thinks that they've got something that's worth potentially, £50. If you're giving away something that's £50 but only costs you £5, if your average order value is over £50 and you give them 10% off, you're actually no worse off. But the customer's got something that's worth a lot of money. And also removing all of the barriers to actually buying that. So no code needed. And I think that is the secret of killer offer. I think one of the key things is ensuring that your returns policy doesn't hinder your conversion rate. I think if you trust your product, and I think one of the key things is having a really good product, but if you trust that product, you need to remove any barriers to returning it, because the uplift in the conversion rate is going to far outweigh any returns that you're going to get. And people are going to think, okay, I'll take a punt on this product because I know I can return it, rather than worrying, what happens if this doesn't work for me? Your returns policy is really low when you trust your product. Why wouldn't you offer that security to your customer? And I think that was one of the key things that we did at Solace Jewelry, was even though most jewelry companies don't offer returns as soon as you've worn them, and obviously you can't resell jewelry when it's being worn, so we have to put any returns straight in the bin. I think offering that, the conversion rate bump was massive and our returns rate was really, really low. Therefore, it was a quick win really for the business and ended up with more profit. So I think one of the surprising things to conversion rate is thinking outside the box. Your email pop-up, the more people you get on your email list, and you can really give that trust element through emails far more than you can on 30 seconds on a website. So if you optimize your email pop-up, get more emails on the flow, you can then send them emails that really take them from skeptical to trustworthy over the course of 2, 3, 4 emails. And then when they get back to your site, they understand more about the business, they understand more about the product, they trust you, and they're more likely to convert. So that can have an inadvertent effect on your conversion rate because you just have more time to nurture that customer And some products, especially if they're a higher average order value, they take up to 7 touch points for somebody to actually trust the business and make that purchase. So I think getting more people on your email list should also be a focus under this conversion rate umbrella. I think one tweak that everybody can make on their website today is look at your returns policy, and if it's restrictive, if it stops people from thinking, okay, I'm gonna take a chance on this, I trust this product. I think removing that barrier and getting it right under the add to cart button with like 100-day money back guarantee will have the biggest impact on your conversion rate. So to measure your conversion rate, Shopify makes this really easy because you can look at the time period and you can see what your conversion rate was. So I actually measure conversion rate in 3 things: add to cart. So that's how many people obviously add a product to cart. Now this is really where you can make the biggest changes on your website. I think cart to checkout, and this is obviously how many people go from having things in their basket to pressing checkout. And that is obviously all around your cart page. And I think some quick wins in your cart page is getting your reviews in the cart page, reiterating the risk-free money-back guarantee, and playing around with the shipping rates, because that can also harm if your shipping rates are really high and they only find out on the cart page and it's not on your product page. That's when people are going to go, oh, I didn't realize there was an extra £5 to ship. So I think making it really obvious in the product page, or removing it if you can, depending on your average order value level, I think that's going to have the biggest impact on your cart to checkout. I think checkout to order is really optimized with Shopify anyway. And the main things here are going to be, what payment gateways do you offer? So if it's a really high value product, maybe adding a buy now, pay later option could improve this. And I think varies on business, but I think there's 7 to 12% add to cart rate, a 50 to 60% cart to checkout rate, and then a 70 to 85% checkout to order stats as roughly where you should be on each of those, which generally comes to a 2 to 4% conversion rate. And think, right, how many objections can I throw at this? What are all the reasons I wouldn't buy this product? And go through and just answer those doubts and try and, again, bring social proof to it to answer a doubt. Answer it in the product images, answer it in FAQ sections, remove all of the barriers. And I think just by doing that, that covers a lot of the points that I've already spoken about today. And it's a good place to start, because if you remove all of the barriers and answer all the doubts and give them a really good offer that they can't say no to, why wouldn't they buy? Conversion rate optimization can be really overwhelming. So we've focused on 10 steps. And if you download our Double Your Profit in 90 Days cheat sheet, like I say, I've got 10 steps here, how difficult it's going to be, how likely it's going to be to see results. And then there's a blog for each of the points explaining in detail of how to implement them. And then we can track it. We've also got a spreadsheet in there that you can track the conversion rate over time. And if you increase this by 20% and increase, there's 4 other metrics that we talk about in our Double Your Profit cheat sheet, you can actually double your profit in 90 days.